What's going on, folks? Kumusta ka? I'd like to share something exciting with all of you. In 2024, next year, we'll be doing a series of webinars in collaborations with Prometric, and these webinars will be free, of course, but you will need to register. If you don't want to miss the invites to these webinars, make sure that you subscribe to our mailing list through our website, pressoenglish.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, what are we discussing in this video? It is something that is often overlooked by test takers, even though this is extremely important. It can easily raise your score when done right, or lower your score if you don't pay attention to it. I'm talking about expanding your ideas. If you look at the CELPIP scoring criteria here, you can see that there are 4 factors that determine your content coherence score, which are the number of ideas, quality of ideas, organization of ideas, examples, and supporting details. Unfortunately, I often see these 3 common problems related to the content when students give their responses. Number 1, a response that is off topic. Number 2, a response that does not have enough main ideas. And number 3, there are not enough details. The truth is, they're fairly easy to avoid if you know what you're doing, and that's what I want to help you with through this video. Let's look at this example. The question asks, do you agree that TVs have negative influence on children? Let's say I want to say yes, and I will discuss the following things in my response. Technology is rapidly changing. Most families own TVs at home. TV has many functions, and parents should limit the children's screen time. You should be able to see that these ideas that I just created are off topic. Those statements have not mentioned any negative effects of TV, even though I said yes, TV has negative influence on children in the beginning. What I'm trying to say is a problem like this can easily result in a lower score in your speaking, therefore you need to avoid it. And before we talk about ways to expand our ideas, you may want to know something else. How many main ideas do we need? With regards to this, I recommend having 2 to 3 main ideas for most of the questions. 1 idea is never enough, remember that. You don't want to give too many ideas either, because having too many main ideas will lead to a lack of details explaining each of them. Therefore, you need to strike a balance between main ideas and details. Now, how do we go from having a main idea to creating the details? I've got 5 different techniques that you can start using immediately the next time you practice. Number 1, give explanations. To start thinking of explanations, you can use the WH questions to help you. Create questions on your main idea using who, what, where, when, why, which can help you explore the topic from different angles. For example, you need to give advice to a friend who needs to prepare for an interview. Maybe one of your suggestions is to do research on the company. From the main idea of doing research on a company, you can create these questions. What kind of information should I look up? For example, the strengths, competition, the projects you're working on. Or maybe we can create another question. Where can I find this information? Of course, online, on the company's website, maybe news articles, social media accounts, and so on. See how we can instantly create supporting details from a what question and a where question? Give this a try next time. Apart from that, your explanations may contain an explanation of a process, of the steps to do something, a discussion on the pros and cons, or maybe the cause and effect. To give you a quick example, we can use another topic where a friend lost his wallet. When you give advice, you can provide the step-by-step instructions of what he should do, from going back to where he was to reporting the lost bank cards to the bank. Do you think preparing for CELPIP alone is hard? Presso English can make your preparation much easier and help you avoid wasting money retaking the test over and over again. You can study with me or another certified instructor with Presso English. In fact, we're a Prometric recognized CELPIP preparation course provider, so you can put your trust in us. Watch until the end of this video to get a special offer, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you want us to keep making videos like this. Now, let's go to our second technique to expand our idea, and that is give an example. An example can help you prove your point. Remember that in CELPIP, you don't always have to tell true stories, but what you need to do is to tell logical stories. I've already prepared an example for you, so let's have a look. Let's say in your response, you want to describe a good friend of yours. If you only say, Jonah is kind, that is not sufficient. Give us an example of his kindness. For instance, one time I suddenly had to move out of my apartment because the owner decided to sell the place. Jonah went out of his way to help me find a new place. He even let me stay with him for almost 2 weeks while we're looking for an apartment for me. See, we just went from Jonah is kind to maybe 3 sentences illustrating his kindness. The neat thing about adding details and examples is now you don't have to create so many ideas. Doesn't this make your life easier? I bet. The third way to expand our idea is to describe it in details. Here, you want to be more granular. Think of a microscope. When you look at an object through a microscope, you see a great number of details. We can take this approach in our responses too. This is especially helpful when you're describing pictures like in CELPIP Speaking Fast 3. Have a look at this picture. If we don't go into the details, we may only say a girl is taken to the emergency room, which is shown in the middle of the picture. That's it. However, it would not be wise to end your description there. As I said, be granular. We can add more details to this description. How do we do that? Take a listen. A girl who might have had an accident is taken to the emergency room on a stretcher by 2 male nurses. It can be seen as well that her mother is walking next to her, telling her daughter not to worry. Once again, we went from 1 short sentence to 2 long sentences with much more details. It may seem difficult at first, but I encourage you to give it a try because you're going to realize that it's actually not as hard as you thought. Okay? Now, method number 4, comparing and contrasting. In certain topics, you will have to discuss 2 things or more, so you may be able to compare and contrast them. Take speaking part 5, for example, where you have to evaluate 2 options and persuade someone to agree that your option is the better one. In this situation, you'll discuss the differences between the options and give the reasons why yours is superior. Of course, I have an example for you as well. Here we go. The company sent out a survey to employees to hear their opinions, and you're given 2 options. Employees can wear jeans on Fridays, or employees have to wear business attire at all times. Let's say we choose option B, and our main idea is wearing a business attire makes you look more professional. So what do we do now? Let's try adding a contrast. We'll say, wearing a business attire makes you look more professional. On the other hand, when you wear jeans to work, people may not even know that you're the employee there. So that's a very simple example, which I'm sure you can also do. Now, what are some other connectors to use when stating a contrast? Of course, we just have on the other hand earlier, but we can also say on the contrary, in contrast, or however. And our last method to expand an idea is what I call painting a picture. We create sentences that help the audience imagine what you say. One way to do this is by using a simile. A simile uses words like or as. For instance, you sound like a madman. So we're comparing a person to a madman using the word like. Or the wedding was as beautiful as I expected it to be. He is always as busy as a bee. Besides, to paint a picture, you can also use words like imagine, let's say, and if. Let's put this into practice. Let's say we get this question. Do you think young adults need to pay rent to their parents if they still live together? I might say, they need not pay rent. Imagine, the children are still in college and have no job. If they have to pay rent to their parents, they will struggle both academically and financially since they now need to find work to earn money. Here's one more example of painting the picture. If they don't pay rent, they will get too complacent. I've heard stories where the adult children just live rent-free in their parents' homes. They don't help around the house. They basically don't make any contributions whatsoever, and this becomes a huge burden for the parents. So, what do you think of this technique? For practice, why don't you write down your ideas to expand your story using this topic? It's 5 p.m. and you're about to leave the office. You've made a prior arrangement for dinner with your spouse. Suddenly, your boss asks you to work overtime. Now, you have two options. One, talk to your boss and explain why you cannot work overtime. Or two, talk to your spouse and say you have to reschedule the dinner. So give it some thought before you write down your ideas in the comments. I'm going to read every single one of them and give you my feedback. Consider this another practice before your exam. Alright, as always, thank you for watching this video until the end. And I haven't forgotten, here's a special offer for you who stay until the end. You could get a 10% discount when you sign up for our training by December 19, 2023. Use the code that's shown on the screen here. And this offer is also valid for sessions that are starting in 2024 as long as you register before December 19. So make sure you don't miss this deadline. Let's get you the scores that you need and bring your dream closer. And remember, before you leave, subscribe to Presto English and get the invites to our webinars with Prometric. For now, thank you so much and goodbye.